Okay, so first let us understand what is a quadratic equation. Okay, before I start with quadratic equation, do you know what is an equation? Can you
Which
tell me?
has a value, which has a variable and has the equal sign in
Correct,
the middle.
correct, correct. It has variable, it has values, and it main thing is it will have an equal to sign. So any expression which has an equal to sign is called an equation. Now, this is a special type of equation called as a quadratic equation. So let's see how a quadratic equation looks like, how to identify whether this equation is a quadratic equation or not. Okay, now the basic definition of quadratic equation, this is written in your textbook as well. Equation involving one variable. Okay, see the words carefully. Equation involving one variable and having 2 as the maximum index. Okay, another word for index is power. Okay, another word for index is power. So the equation involving one variable, okay, just one variable, and having 2 as the maximum index of that index of the variable. That type of equation is called an quadratic equation. Now see, this is a general form of a quadratic equation. Okay, any or also called as a standard form. Okay, general form or standard form of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now note one thing, in this x is a variable, and if you see the maximum or the highest power of x is 2. Okay, the highest power of x is 2, and there is an equal to sign. So such type of equation is called as an quadratic equation. Note one thing, that in this equation there is a, b, and c. So a, b, and c are any real number. Okay, it can be any real number. So a, b, c are real numbers, but one thing to note that a is not equal to 0. A, what is a? A is the coefficient of x square. Do you know what is coefficient?
No.
Coefficient is the number associated with the variable, or in simple words, the number which is in front of the variable is called as coefficient. So suppose I'm saying y is a variable and I'm putting 3 in front of it. So 3 is a coefficient of y. Or if you have x square and you have a number in front of x, suppose 4. So 4 is called as a coefficient of x square. So the definition of coefficient is a number associated with the variable. Clear what is coefficient? Okay. Now I'll repeat the point which you have to keep in mind. The general form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. A, b, and c are coefficients. So a is a coefficient of x square, b is a coefficient of x, and c is, since c does not have any variable with it, okay, the number which does not have a variable with it is called as constant. Okay, the number which does not have a variable with it is called as a constant. So again, coefficient of x square is a, coefficient of x is b, and the last term is called as a constant. A, b, and c are any real numbers. It can be anything. They can be positive also, they can be negative also. Only one condition is there, that a is not equal to 0. Okay, this is just that one
ABC can be fractions also.
Yes, they can be fractions also. They can be irrational numbers also. They can be roots also. Root, like root 2, root 3, and so on. But the only
Okay.
condition is that a, that is the coefficient of x square, can not be 0. Okay, it will never be 0. If it is 0, then that equation will not be a quadratic equation. Okay, this is the only condition. on A, B, and C, that A is not equal to 0. Okay. Up to here, are these points clear?
Yes.
Okay. So two things remember. First is a definition of quadratic equation. Second is a general form of a quadratic equation. Okay. So definition of a quadratic equation: equation involving one variable, and 2 is the maximum index of that variable or maximum power. First thing. Second, remember the general form. General form, also called as a standard form, one and the same thing. So some places they may use the word standard form, some places they may use the word general form. So you should note that both are the same. The general form or standard form of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and abc's are real number, and just that a is not equal to 0. Okay, now let's see some examples. So first, I'll show you some examples of quadratic equation, and you have to just identify what is A, B, and what is C. As I said, A is coefficient of x squared, B is coefficient of x, and C is the last constant term. So I think this activity is there in your textbook also. So first quadratic equation is x square minus 4. First, you have to write this in the general form. Okay, look at the screen. It is x
Yeah.
square minus 4. Now, is this in the
The
general
X
form?
and 1 is missing.
Yes. So which is missing? The
X
square
square
x term is missing. So you put whichever term is missing, whichever variable is missing, sorry, you put 0 with it, 0 and x. And then the remaining, the last one as it is. Did you understand this?
yes.
Okay. So the general form will be x square minus 0x minus 4 equal to 0. Now from here, what is A? As I said, A is coefficient of x square. What is the coefficient of x square?
0.
No.
1.
1. Yes, 1. What is the coefficient of x?
1.
No, here 0 is there. Here we have written 0.
No, but
So,
there is nothing, so it will be 1, right?
no. See, this x was missing. X was
Okay.
missing. So whenever any variable is missing and you want to write it in the general form, you put 0 as its coefficient, always.
Yeah.
And the last term, constant term, is
4.
4. So this is the first one. I think this
Minus
activity,
4.
no, we just want what is A, B, and C.
So if it is minus 4, then we will not take minus 4.
Sorry, yes, minus 4. Yeah, minus 4. Minus 4. Is
So
it,
we will take or not?
we will,
We'll take. Uh-huh.
we will take. It's just that for 0, I'm not putting minus because we don't put any sign for 0. Okay. I think this is there in the textbook. So if you want, you can write it in pencil in your textbook.
It's already printed.
Okay. Second one, if you see, it is y square is equal to 2y minus 7. Now, this is a quadratic equation and it has only one variable, and the highest power is 2. So it is a quadratic equation. But is it in the general form? Is
Yeah.
it in this form?
Yeah. You
No.
have to
So,
get it in that
yes,
form.
yes. So,
So you will get 2y minus 7 on that side.
yes. So it will become minus 2y plus
Plus
7
7.
is equal to 0. So this is now in the general form.
It can
And
be plus and minus anywhere, right? Because the general form is all plus plus.
yes, yes.
So it can be minus anywhere also, right?
Yeah, yes. It's just that when you're writing the coefficient, you have to take those minus sign into consideration. Like here, how we have taken minus 4. that way.
But 0 you will not take in. 0
The
you will only write 0.
yes, the for the coefficient you're asking, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, now can you tell me what is A in this equation?
1
1, B is
minus 2,
-2, and C is
7.
7. Similarly, for the last one, x squared plus 2x is equal to 0. This is not in the general form. What is missing?
Um, plus 0.
Yes, correct. So you will write it as x square plus 2x plus 0 is equal to 0. And from here, A is 1, coefficient of x square is 1. B, that is coefficient of x, is 2.
2
And the
and
last,
0.
yes, constant term is 0. So
Just
this,
write all of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now next concept is on how to identify whether the given equations are quadratic or not. So for that, you have to keep two things in mind, that is a definition of quadratic equation. So I'll come back here. Definition of quadratic equation. Equation should have only one variable,
I
and the
can't see your screen.
you can't see the definition.
It's actually like paused. You were changing it to the definition, and so it just paused in the middle.
Okay, 1 minute. I'll stop share.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I've stopped screen share.
Yeah, it stopped for me
Okay,
also.
okay, I'll start it again. Oh, can you see now?
Um,
Def standard form of quadratic equation.
no, it's still loading. It's kind of loading. Yeah, now I can see.
Okay,
Standard form of quadratic equation.
yes. So now the next concept we'll be seeing about identifying whether a given equation is quadratic or not. So whenever you are seeing, whenever you are identifying, so you have to think about the definition, what the definition says. So the definition says that equation, for it to be quadratic, first thing, it has to have only one variable. Okay, there cannot be two variables, there cannot be three variables. There has to be only one variable. And second point is the maximum power or the highest power of that variable should be 2. Okay, it has to be 2 plus 2. It should not be -2, -3, and so on. Nothing. It has to be plus 2, the power. Then only that equation will be a quadratic equation. Otherwise, it will not be a quadratic equation. So let's see the question. Decide which of the following are quadratic equations. Okay, can you see the first equation on the screen?
Yes,
Yes. Okay, it is 3x square minus 5x plus 3.
it
First thing,
is a quadratic
yes.
equation
Yes, first thing you have to check whether there is one
because it
variable
has
or
the
not.
degree 2.
Yes. So yes, this is a quadratic equation. So I'll write here yes. Second one, 9y square plus 5 is
It
equal
is a
to,
quadratic
it is a
equation.
quadratic equation, although it is not in the general form, but you can write it in the general form. 9y square plus, can you tell me how to do it?
0y.
Yes, 0y plus 5 is equal to 0. So I'll say yes, this is also a quadratic equation. Third one, is it?
No,
No. Why?
because it has the degree 2, but it also
Yes.
has the degree 3.
Yes. Yes. It has the maximum degree is 3. So this is not a quadratic equation. And
Where is
lastly,
this? The
what?
first two only I can see. I cannot see. Oh, okay, it's over there.
Can you see the fourth one? Yes,
Fourth
I can.
one.
Fourth
The
one. Can
fourth
you
one,
see?
I guess. I
I
can
plus.
see it, but I
Huh,
don't know where it
huh,
is.
huh. Yes. So okay, I'll show you the fourth one. I plus 2 I minus 2. Now, this is not in the general form. So first thing is we'll try to bring it in the general form. And for it to bring it in the general form, firstly, if you see this is in the form of A plus B, A minus B, correct? So how will it become? Can you tell me?
Yes.
So I will have to write it in the form of A square minus B square. So A is I, so I square
Yes.
minus, what will be B?
2 square.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. So
Hello.
yes, yes. Your voice is very slow. Can you hear me?
Can't hear you actually.
Can't.
Can't see your screen share.
Screen share stop.
And I can't even see you.
I stopped the screen share. How about now?
Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Hello. Can't hear you. The screen share is frozen.
Can you hear me now? My face is slow. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me now? No?
Voice is really very faint. I can't really hear you.
Can you see my video at least?
No.
No?
Switched off your camera, right?
No, it is on.
Shows me you switched off your camera.
How about now?
I can hear you, but your voice is really low. Can you hear me?
Yes, now? Can you hear? Or still it's low?
Can you hear me? Hello, hello,
Yes, I
hello.
can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, yeah,
Can Okay. Can you see my video?
yeah.
Okay. I'm just starting the share screen. Tell me when you start seeing it. Can you see? No, I
Yeah,
can't hear you. Okay.
yeah.
So we were doing this last fourth one, I plus 2, I minus 2. So if you see, this is of the form a square, a plus b, a minus b. So a is I and b is 2. So I square minus 2 square. Correct? Have you understood this?
Yes.
Now,
By
is
the
the
way, in the question 2 and 3, we did not fill in the boxes in the textbook on page 32.
2 and 3?
This is 2 and 3. 9y square plus 5 equals to 0. M cube minus 5m square plus that one. There were boxes in the textbook for that. Not this.
The third
No,
one,
not this.
not this. Wait,
This
I'll
one.
open the textbook. Wait.
Page
Uh,
number 32.
yeah, wait, I'll do that. But before that, tell me this. Is this a quadratic equation or not? I square minus 2 square.
No,
No? Why?
because then 2 and 2 will get added, right?
Which 2?
The degrees,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. 1 minute.
the degrees will get added, right?
1 minute. 1 minute. The question was I plus 2,
Hello, 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 hello.
I minus 5. Can you hear me? Yes?
God.
Your voice is very slow. I can't hear you now. Can you hear?
Your
Yes?
your screen share
Hmm?
I can see your video also, but your voice is breaking. Like
Breaking.
for a minute I could not hear you also.
Okay. How about now? Is it still breaking?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Now it's
But
fine? Okay.
it just goes. In the middle it just goes and then
Oh,
it breaks
okay.
and then it comes back.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
what you say I cannot understand. Only middle I understand.
Okay, I'll repeat. I said we'll do this one again. So the question was I plus 2, I minus 5. Okay, we have to identify whether this is a quadratic equation or not. Okay, I had previously I had written the question wrong. I've just corrected the question. It is I plus 2, I minus 5. Now here
What
what
had
you,
you written?
I had written I plus 2, I minus 2. while it was 5 here.
Oh,
It
okay.
is 5.
Okay.
Now this is not of the form a plus b, a minus b. So here what you have to do is you have to do bracket to bracket multiplication. Do you remember how to do bracket to bracket multiplication? Yes or
1,
no?
and then you divide it by 1 minus 5, and
Not
then
divide,
2,
multiply.
and then you multiply it by 1 minus
Yes,
5.
correct. So this is this is
What?
not
What?
1.
I can't hear you.
You multiply.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me now? There's some problem, I think. She got disconnected. How problem it is?